Hello everybody, my name's Star Raptor and welcome to another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. You guys know the drill. Every week I go over everything in the Star Wars continuity. This could be anything from the TV series, to the books, to the comics, and to the video games. And first off, I want to wish everybody a very, very special Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. It's going to be a great day, and I will go over more of what I'm going to do today on May the 4th, but first of all, we had a very, very busy week with Canon. Very important things came out this week. First off, I want to show you guys all about Star Wars Bloodline. I really like the cover. This is written by Claudia Gray, who you know has written Lost Stars, which is a phenomenal book that you guys should read. So what is Bloodline about? In a nutshell, Bloodline takes place about 6 years before The Force Awakens. It tells us the story of how Leia Organa went from being a senator of the New Republic to being the leader and the general of the Resistance, and kind of how basically it's good because The Force Awakens didn't really get into the political arena when it came to Star Wars, but this book definitely goes deeply into that, probably more than any other Star Wars book I've read, but it's very welcome kind of change of pace for a Star Wars novel. I really enjoyed it. I think it was brilliant to hold out on the politics and leave that out of Force Awakens so we can get an entire novel of that. So really cool stuff, backstories for all our favorite characters. You guys can actually see a full review that I did over there. You can click over there. And also, if you purchase this book at Barnes & Noble, you'll also get a really cool poster, and it's actually double-sided. So there you go, liar, vote Leia. I'm really unsure about which side I want to hang up on my Star Wars wall that you see behind me with all my posters. But that wasn't all we had this week in Star Wars canon. We also had issue number 2 of Poe Dameron. I'm really loving this series, and this issue, number 2, it just keeps on getting better. So basically, the plot of this issue and overview is Poe Dameron's like trying to speak with these people. Remember, he went to that planet to try to find out where Lord Santeca went. That's his mission from Leia's, to track down Lord Santeca. He knows where Luke Skywalker is. He's got the, we see in Force Awakens, he's got the map, part of the map. So basically what happens is Poe Dameron's on this planet with that giant egg that we found, and then the First Order come because they tracked his ship. So you have Poe Dameron hiding out while the First Order comes down to the planet and is trying to find out where Poe Dameron is, and they're just basically like putting all the people at gunpoint, putting fear in them, being like, where is Poe Dameron? And this First Order detachment of soldiers is led by this man named Agent Terex, who is a new villain in this storyline. So it's really cool that we have a face to the First Order, so to speak, right now. And in the meantime, we actually learn more about his history in a flashback. So that was really interesting to see some really cool characters, such as Captain Phasma, which I'll get into a little bit later. But we also had Black Squadron, which is Poe's comrades. They're flying their X-Wings and their A-Wings around, and they're trying to help Poe out because he had BB-8 send a distress signal. So it came to a really cool kind of really, really fast-paced conflict. I love how fast the storyline's going through this one, for sure. Positives of the issue, things I really liked, were, first off, we have that new character, Agent Terex. Now, whenever somebody mentions Agent in Star Wars, I would automatically think of the ISB agents, the what is it, the Imperial Security Bureau with like Agent Callus and all them. So is that the same type of people? Because apparently Agent Terex has some history with the Empire, because one of the first panels is he's trying to storm the door to get into the place with the egg, and he's talking to his stormtrooper squad, and he's saying, yeah, I used to be the same. I used to wear the helmet as well. So I'm guessing, because he's an older character, he had to play a part in the Empire as a foot soldier. Now he's commanding these troops. But his personality is kind of he's kind of an asshole, really. I mean, he's just kind of fed up with the the First Order. It seems like nobody gives him respect, and he always, apparently, according to himself, he always brings results, and yet they're still questioning his ability to follow through on his missions. So he's a little fed up with them. So he's got that kind of flair to him, his character. And speaking of Agent Terex, we had a great tie to the canon, and they just keep doing this. The Lucasfilm story group's really killing it lately between the novels. Like even Bloodline had a tie to Vader Down in it. So we have the Carrion Spike. So all you Tarkin readers out there, Carrion Spike, as you remember, was the ship that Tarkin was flying throughout the novel. So we actually see that Agent Terex somehow has claimed that as his own personal starship, and we see he has like many helmets of the Empire. So he is one of those people that probably fled out from the Battle of Endor or whatever and got out of there and helped start this thing up. And while he was on the Carrions, this leads me into my next thing I really like is seeing Captain Phasma, and she's kind of like, I guess, second in command from General Hux, because she's giving Agent Terex the mission to track down Poe Dameron, which also leads me into another positive of how they tied together Before the Awakening with this novel. And they even give like a little annotation in the book. So guys, if you want to read Poe Dameron, or if you start reading it, I would highly recommend picking up Before the Awakening, because it has how Poe Dameron starts off being a Republic pilot and how he gets recruited by Leia into the Resistance. So it's a really, really great read. Also, I really enjoyed the jump troopers that they have in this comic. You know, it's really, I really, that's one thing I love about Star Wars, is just the number of variations of troopers that we have. And also we actually see flame troopers in action, and I feel like we didn't see enough of them in The Force Awakens, as well as the snow troopers. I wish we could have seen more. They're in the deleted scenes more, but in the actual movie. But and the camaraderie between the Black Squadron members is really, really sweet. You really feel like these guys are in this all together to help each other out, and just like the talking back and forth is just, it's a different kind of comic that Star Wars hasn't seen. We haven't seen like a space kind of dominated, like almost like, I guess you could say, like a Top Gun kind of feel. So really, really cool stuff. And finally, Phil Onoda's work. I mean, he did work on Chewbacca, and right now I think he's even doing a better job on the Poe Dameron series. I really like how the fighters are popping out, and just like I said previously about the camaraderie between the Black Squadron. So they have like really nice visuals representing like the pilots' heads right next to their fighters, really make it simple to see who is who. So just really great job. I'm absolutely loving Poe Dameron. I mean, I'm loving everything, just like Bloodline. I'm loving how we're slowly fleshing out that 30-year gap in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, and I can't wait to see what issue 3 will bring us next month. And that is going to do it for all the canon we had this week. But like I mentioned before, it is Star Wars Day, May the 4th. So when I went to pick up my comics, I was also pleasantly surprised that Marvel had a special Star Wars Day release of comics out. They're all $1 each. So guys, if you're watching this video, get out to your comic store, because these are some really great reads you're going to want to pick up, and they're only $1, so you can't beat that. 7 in total. First off, we have True Believers. This is basically a comic, or not a comic, it's just basically a representation of covers from pretty much every one of the series so far. A really great variant covers of everything else out there, so really awesome work. Next up, we have a classic here, Droids. Alright, this is from, I guess, like 1970s or something. I read through this, did not really like this thing at all. It just, the art was okay, and just the story was just, like, really, not even interesting, just kind of weird, with C-3PO getting a new master, and getting this droid to, like, fight this other droid, and this Gamorrean guard-looking guy was like the whole villain of it. It was really weird. But what I did really enjoy that was also classic was the original Star Wars #1. Now, this is pretty much a frame by frame um, adaptation of the original Star Wars movie. They got the exact lines from dialogue in this thing, and it's just really cool because we also have like things out. I don't think were really mentioned back then. Like this is in the '70s, and they're mentioning that Darth Vader's the Lord of the Sith. So I mean that's a pretty big revelation back in the '70s. And also they called Luke Skywalker Wormy. Like they have that whole deleted scene part where he's in Tatooine or he's at Anchorhead and he's talking to Biggs who's going to join the rebellion, and Biggs just calls him Wormy all the time. So I thought that was kind of funny. But also now moving from the classics of the True Believers that were on sale today, we have the current series ongoing #1 issues. So you can pick up #1 Vader Down #1, which is already an oversized issue, for $1. This thing is so cool. I love the first issue of Vader Down. It really gets you into the action real quick with Vader and just see how powerful he is. You can get the trade paperback of this right now, actually. So if you liked it, go out and buy the trade paperback. Next up, also, speaking of Darth Vader, we have Darth Vader #1. Another amazing. I mean, Marvel's just doing an incredible job with their Star Wars series. It's just really good. So Darth Vader, pick it up. Also, if you enjoyed Poe Dameron and want to know a little bit about his backstory, get out there and pick up Shattered Empire, because guess what? Shattered Empire tells a story about his parents. Yeah, I said it, so go pick it up. And finally, I believe this is the last True Believers that came out today, is, of course, Star Wars #1. This was the relaunch of Star Wars at Marvel. Not much more to say other than go out there and pick this up. And what I'm going to do for my buddy, the Masked Panther, he always does these haul videos with his comics. Look at the stack. Look at that. Look at that beautiful stack of comics right there. Oh, wait. I have one more to add. This is all just Star Wars comics. I believe that's 8 comics right there. Boom. All right. And that is not it, because I did do a little toy run, and I went to my local Walmart thinking, hey, maybe they restocked for Star Wars Day. And I was very happy I did, because boom. I found Ahsoka Tano Black Series 6-inch. Super happy about this one. This one, I couldn't find this thing anywhere for months. And it looked like all the pegs were pretty well stocked, so they were prepared for Star Wars Day. Probably more than they were prepared for, what is it, the Star Wars, the first, whatever, the September thing. It's escaping my memory. Force Friday. The stores today were more prepared for Star Wars Day than they were for First Friday, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, guys, get out there if you want to get some figures. Walmart and Target's a good option. Toys R Us, all these places are pretty good with what they have right now. And that latest wave is swinging around. So I did see some Luke Skywalkers, a lot of Canon Jarruses, who I said I had picked up the other week. But I will be doing a unboxing video for both that Canon Jarrus and the Ahsoka I just showed you guys. So stay tuned. They are coming. And as far as for Star Wars Day, what my plans are, like I said, I went out and did my toy run. And then I went to my comic store, read my comics, so today's going pretty good. Going to play some Star Wars, The Old Republic, the MMO. I know it's not canon, guys, and the show's all about canon, but it's still a fun game to play. So, and I know they have a new update out, so I'll be playing that. I really want to jump on Star Wars Battlefront for a couple rounds, because I know they're having some kind of promotion where you get some credits just by logging in. And finally, I want to squeeze in The Force Awakens, especially after reading through Bloodline. There are so many cool things you find out in there that, to me, just make me want to watch The Force Awakens all over again ASAP, because there's some awesome stuff that happens in there that leads to some really cool character development. But that is going to do for my episode. So what are you guys going to be doing for Star Wars Day, May the 4th? Are you guys, hanging out with friends, watching Star Wars? Are you gaming a little bit? Did you pick up any of the new comics I was just talking about? Feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Let's keep this conversation going. That being said, guys, you can subscribe to my channel because I will be uploading regular videos like this video every week. I also have a new series if you're Game of Thrones fans. I know there's a lot of crossover between Star Wars fans and Game of Thrones fans, so you guys would definitely want to check out Recap of Thrones. I go over every episode, break it down. That being said, you can follow me on StarRaptor. You can follow me on Twitter at StarRaptor, as well as like my Facebook page at StarRaptor. Thanks for watching, everybody, and may the Force be with you.